On your marks, get set, eat! You've now got 90 minutes to consume all the burgers and apps your heart desires. The price? Just $28. I know you're probably thinking, for only $28, it's going to be some dull pedestrian burger and a few tired app choices. Well, you'd be wrong. You get to choose between 5 different 1/3 pound gourmet burgers and 9 different appetizers. Do you think you could get your money's worth? Well, on paper, the price is a no-brainer. But as my father used to say, no matter the price, if it doesn't taste good, it's expensive. So is this deal worth it? Well, that's the question we're here to answer. Welcome to Let's Eat Vegas, your guide to the good, the bad, and the delicious. I'm an award-winning chef with no patience for humdrum food. Today, we're excited to be at one of the most popular burger joints around, who's now offering one of the most viral and wildest all-you-can-eat deals in town. Say hello to Slater's 50/50. With the number of possible options, it took 2 days to make this video, so let's get started. We began with several apps. As I said before, there are 9 different available on the all-you-can-eat menu. Jalapeno poppers, one of my all-time favorites, so I had to try them. I've always been a sucker for spice, but great jalapeno poppers aren't just about heat. They're also about balance. You need that perfect blend of creamy, cheesy goodness to cool things down, rich, savory bacon to reel you back in. It's a flavor seesaw, and these poppers nail it. And the best part? This buffet is all you can eat. So yes, you can have another, or 10. We kick things off strong with these beauties, fresh jalapenos stuffed with Slater's signature vampire cheese dip. Don't worry, it's garlic. But so much garlic, it'd make Count Dracula burst into tears. Then they wrap the whole thing in bacon. Crispy, smoky, salty, creamy. It's an umami bomb that had me hooked at the first bite. Add in their homemade ranch, and forget it. I could eat 100 of these.
You had me at bacon.
It's indulgent, it's over the top, and it's absolutely the right way to start this burger buffet. One of the appetizer choices, the wings, have 6 different varieties. During the all-you-can-eat deal, each person is limited to 2 wings. After that, it's a $1 upcharge for each additional order. You can get the wings boneless or bone-in. Either way, they're delicious. Buffalo wings have been around since the 1960s, when a bar owner in Buffalo, New York, tossed leftover wings in hot sauce and served them up as a late-night snack. What started as bar food frugality turned into a national obsession. And when it's done right, crispy, juicy, and coated in just the right sauce, it's magic. These have moist, tender breast meat, beautifully brined, so the flavor goes all the way through. The batter is crispy and golden, not weighed down by the sauce. That buffalo sauce is tangy and buttery, just enough heat to make your lips tingle. But it's not about burning your mouth, it's about flavor, and these have it in spades. And then came the Thai chili version. This one knocked me out. Sweet, sticky, a little spicy, and absolutely packed with flavor. The glaze with that crispy coating is just perfection. It's the kind of thing that turns you into a repeat customer. These wings aren't just good, they're crave-worthy. And be warned, they are quite a bit larger than your typical bar wings. Okay, off to the burgers. But before we move on, I've got a quick story for anyone wondering if they can trust my opinion. Well, I get my brutal honesty from my mom. One time, we were dining at Dan Tana's in Los Angeles, and sitting just inches away in the next booth was Elizabeth Taylor. I leaned over and whispered, "Don't look now, but that's Elizabeth Taylor." With barely a glance, my mom said, loud enough for Miss Taylor and half the restaurant to hear, "That's not Elizabeth Taylor, that woman's fat and ugly." So yeah, honesty runs in the family, and you can always trust I'll give you my honest opinion. The humble hamburger has come a long way since its early 20th century rise in popularity. From fairground novelty to fast food icon, it's now a canvas for chefs to flex their creativity muscle. Whether smashed on a griddle or grilled thick and juicy, the burger is America's most craveable comfort food, and it's still evolving. Which brings us to this bold contender, named the best damn bacon cheeseburger. Well, that's quite a claim. It looks the part, but I spend too much time in Hollywood to be fooled by appearances. So let's take a closer look. They use only Black Canyon Angus beef in their burgers, so you know Slater's isn't cutting corners. I've always been a sucker for caramelized onions, and that's definitely a plus here. The bacon is gorgeous, darting out both sides as though it's showing off. American cheese, lettuce, tomato, and Thousand Island on a fresh brioche bun. This thing is picture perfect. I asked for it rare, but they'll cook it however you like. It's juicy, the cheese melts just right, and those grilled onions punch up the flavor. I can see why they're proud of it. Everything just works. Now, I don't know if I'd say this is the best damn burger I've ever eaten, but it's pretty darn close. The meat, a third of a pound, is well seasoned. There's no salt shaker on the table. You won't be asking for one. The bacon is crisp, high quality, tastes like the real deal. Thousand Island is a little sweet. It's a nice contrast to the salty umami flavors going on in this delightful burger. We're off to a good start. I have to say again, these brioche buns are fantastic. Soft, super fresh, and just slightly sweet. I doubt they make them in-house, but whoever's behind this dough knows what they're doing. It's a great bun, and it really elevates the entire Slater's burger experience. This burger just looks like summer. It feels like something you'd grill up in your own backyard, maybe at a beach cookout or on the patio with your family gathered around. One bite, practically waiting for my dad to come by and ask how he did. It's classic all-American flavor. Ketchup, mustard, and that juicy, well-seasoned patty front and center. Of all the burgers in the lineup, this one's the most traditional. No wild toppings or over-the-top combos, just a solid, straightforward burger that lets the beef shine. And honestly, that's what I love about it. It's not trying to impress with bells and whistles. It's just really, really good. A strong contender in any burger countdown, and a reminder that sometimes simple is better. This one's packed with flavor and pure nostalgia. Right off the bat, you can see it. This thing is massive. Even Martha Ray would have to unhinge her jaw to fit it in her mouth. Before I even took a bite, I knew some strategic disassembly was required. I scaled it down to just one onion ring to start. But the moment it hit the table, I asked our server for a whole order of onion rings. You can tell these aren't just any onion rings. There's something to be proud of. I wouldn't be surprised if the barbecue sauce is house made, especially since they already brag about their scratch-made ketchup. And let me tell you, as someone who used to make my own ketchup at the restaurant, it's rare to find places that do this, and I respect that. Since they make their own ketchup, it would be insulting to use ours, so our bottle will be staying in the backpack. If you ever do see us use our own, know it's not an insult to the restaurant, only to the Heinz multinational condiment factory. This burger is fantastic. The sauce is sweet, rich, and smoky, but it doesn't overpower the beef. The burger itself isn't an afterthought, it's the star. Everything works in harmony: smoky barbecue sauce, melted cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon. Even the pickle plays its part in this balancing act. Good thing I wore my black shirt, because this one creates a big, bold mess. But absolutely worth every spattered drop. This is the burger that put 50-50 on the map. The infamous half-bacon, half-beef patty. It's basically what would happen if a pig and a cow decided to collaborate on a greatest hits album. Spicy pepper jack, creamy avocado, a sunny side-up egg, and chipotle aioli that punches harder than a Vegas bouncer. Slice into it, and the yolk runs down the sides like pure liquid gold. Messy, decadent, worth every napkin. Back in my Hollywood restaurant days, eggs on a burger weren't a garnish, it was a religion. One night, a well-known action star, you'd know him, let's just say he saved the world on screen more than once, was sitting across the room from a certain pop diva. She spots my famous bacon cheeseburger with a fried egg on top heading to his table. And before the plate even hits, she sends her assistant sprinting over. Next thing I know, the egg burger meant for the action star is sitting in front of the diva, and he's looking at me with a gaping jaw of disappointment, as though a bully just swiped his favorite toy. Speaking of feelings of disappointment, if you can believe it, according to YouTube, 80% of you watching right now are not subscribed. Subscribing is free, helps us grow, and to bring you more reviews. And if you find value in our reviews, consider making a small donation using the link to buy me a coffee in the description area below. We'd greatly appreciate it. After seeing them on one of my burgers, I had to get a side of these onion rings. They're super crispy with that signature panko crunch that really holds up. No onion slippage here. I'm not sure if they make them in-house, but they're built like a fortress. Just be careful biting into them. I threw caution to the wind and took a big mouthful. Big mistake. That coarse panko crust has the texture of a pumice stone. They're tasty, no doubt, but borderline dangerous. Personally, I prefer a more delicately coated onion ring. These come with a house-made bacon ketchup. I give them bonus points for going above and beyond the typical restaurant. The patty melt dates back to the 1940s or 50s, likely born in diners and lunch counters during the golden age of the American sandwich. It's a cross between a hamburger and a grilled cheese, traditionally served on rye bread with grilled onions and melted Swiss or American. It became a staple at places like Woolworth's lunch counter, where kids like me first fell in love with the sizzle of the flat top and the smell of buttered bread toasting on the grill. This one brought me right back, almost. The mighty patty melt is loaded with juicy, well-seasoned beef, melted American cheese, and plenty of grilled onions. But here, it veers from tradition. No rye bread, no mustard. Instead, it's Thousand Island and a more generic bread choice. Overly sweet, and for me, it's a miss. Patty melts are all about that crisp, tangy bite of rye cutting through the richness, and without it, the whole sandwich feels a little off balance. It's not bad, but it doesn't have the soul of the classic. That said, I love the little pickle and olive garnish on top. It's a charming nod to the past, and one of the tastier bites on the plate. If I were to order it again, I'd ask for mustard on the side, request they forego the Thousand Island, and rummage around in the kitchen for some rye bread. I saw this on the menu and thought, I've never seen this combination before. I took one bite, and a little voice inside my head said, and now I know why. This one's definitely out there. Granny Smith apple, brie cheese, and bacon on a burger. It almost tasted a little like a deconstructed apple pie. Not exactly what I want when I'm craving a burger. I get what they were going for, and did love certain individual components of it. But altogether, I'm not convinced it works, at least not for me. I love the flavor of the brie and bacon with the apple, but biting into it all together with a beef patty, well, honestly, I'm having trouble eating it at all. The cold, crunchy apple clashed with the burger. I found myself wanting to eat just the apple, bacon, and cheese on their own. Also, the honey wheat bun felt too dense. A stodgy bun that belongs back in the 1970s in some granola-loving, all-natural, organic Foodie's pit stop somewhere near a beach. All in all, not my style. We started day 2 with more apps. I've been obsessing over these boneless wings since day 1. I'm talking lying awake at night, scrolling through old food pics in my mind kind of obsessing. Today, I'm going for the remaining 3 I hadn't yet tried. Garlic parmesan, maple bacon, and honey barbecue. Honestly, I could build an entire visit just around the wings. For days, I've been conjuring up the most feeble of excuses to just happen to be on the opposite side of town. I already have my next trip mapped out in my head, and I'm ordering doubles of each flavor, maybe even triples of the Thai. But that's a story for another day. These hit every note I love in a wing. The meat is fresh, white, and tender, wrapped in a coating that's so crispy you can hear me biting into it from across the restaurant. Then comes that buttery, garlicky Parmesan sauce. It's rich without being greasy, and seasoned so well, you never get that overpowering, too much garlic punch. The Parmesan is nutty and savory, clinging to every ridge of the crust. I dunked a few in their homemade ranch, but honestly, they don't need a thing. They're perfect straight off the plate. These are messy in the best possible way. I guess I could have gone the polite route and used a knife and fork, but let's be real. Barbecue wings are meant to be eaten with your fingers. There's something primal and deeply satisfying about it, especially when the sauce is this good. Sweet, smoky, and with a clear pop of real honey flavor. It's a world apart from bottled barbecue sauce. They make it here in-house, and you can taste the difference. Deeper, rounder flavors, not just sugar and smoke. It's sticky, it's satisfying, and it lingers hauntingly. And finally, the showstopper. Not only can you see the bacon in the breading, you can taste it in every bite. And it's not just sprinkled on top. The bacon is minced right into the breading itself. The owner happened to spot us today, tucked away in the back corner with our camera, and brought the wings out himself. When I asked him about the flavor, he told me they also grind bacon directly into the sauce. Well, that's next level commitment to the theme. And honestly, anything with bacon here is a must order. This place doesn't just use bacon, they worship it. If I were the firstborn of that owner, I'd be worried. Okay, let's get back to some burgers. Today we're sampling the 3 add-on varieties. These are ones available for a great price as part of the all-you-can-eat deal. You're seeing this more and more at these new Butler-style buffets. This beauty comes stacked with Black Canyon Angus beef, melted Swiss, blue cheese, baby arugula, and most importantly, a generous spread of their house-made bacon jam. I've always had a weakness for bacon jam. It's one of those magical condiments. Works on everything from eggs to sandwiches and, of course, burgers. The arugula adds that peppery bite I love. It's something I used to use in my own restaurant instead of traditional lettuce for the depth of flavor it brings. The bacon jam here, sweet, smoky, and deeply savory, does take away a little bit from the pure beef flavor. But what it adds back is worth it. The blue cheese cuts through with its tang, keeping the sweetness from going too far. It's a burger that eats like a fine-tuned recipe, every element playing its part. Bold, ostentatious, and Instagram-worthy. But is it good? Well, yes, until the bacon jam shows up, like that one guest who doesn't know when to stop telling off-color jokes that stopped eliciting laughter hours ago. I personally find it to be so overpoweringly sweet that halfway through eating the 24 karat, it reminded me more of dessert than a burger. Okay, most of you know I have a serious sweet tooth, but not when it gets in the way of what should be a deeply savory dish. Now, maybe after the bacon jam on the previous burger, I was on bacon jam overload. I think if this had been my first burger of the day, I would have loved it. Well, next time, I'm asking for the jam on the side so I can judge how sweet is just right. Because the Wagyu here is too good to play but a supporting role. It should be the star. That rich, fatty, savory perfection doesn't need a sticky sweet preserve auditioning for the lead role. And the sprayed-on gold. Sure, it's picturesque, but I think when it comes to gold, I'd prefer to wear it than eat it. I'll be honest, this didn't do much for me. It's a standard mixed green salad, nothing to write home about. Not bad, but nothing life-altering either. The vinaigrette is tart, but I'm not really getting raspberry from it. And I'd rather save my stomach space for more wings or another burger. If you're pacing yourself, this could be a light break in the middle. But me, I'm already looking forward to my next bacon adventure. This is the kind of dish that lures you in with its cuteness, then knocks you out with how heavy it is. It's a bubbling little skillet of melted cheese, creamy and rich enough to be a meal on its own. Don't get me wrong, it's delicious, but after a few bites, I could feel my energy slowing. It's a sneaky one. Definitely share it if you want to make it through the rest of your meal. Okay, time to finish off day 2 with the cream of the crop. If I had to choose a favorite today, this would be it. Half a pound of rich, juicy Wagyu beef cooked just right, topped with mushrooms that have been sautéed in butter until they're golden and meaty in their own right. Melted Swiss cheese ties it all together, and the whole thing comes on soft pretzel bread that adds a little chew and a touch of salt. Dip it into the au jus, warm, savory dipping sauce, which instantly transforms this into something decadent. I'm already a sucker for prime rib, so giving me a burger turned French dip sandwich, I'm sold. Each bite soaks up that umami-packed broth, and suddenly, you're not just eating, you're having an experience. When it comes to all you can eat in Las Vegas, plenty of spots promise value, but Slater's 50/50 actually delivers. This is fresh, cooked-to-order food, not your typical heat lamp, all-you-can-eat buffet fare. We're talking gourmet burgers, crispy wings, and addictive appetizers you'll actually want seconds of, probably thirds. Sure, a few dishes weren't for me. That would be you, apple on a burger. But a few misses in a sea of hits is no problem whatsoever. For just $28, you can taste your way through 6 different burgers, including the famous 50-50 bacon and beef patty, and still have room for some of the best wings in Vegas. So, to the question we raised in the introduction, is this deal worth it? Well, unequivocally and resoundingly, yes. Come hungry, wear a black shirt, or better yet, a bib, and maybe bring a friend who won't judge the barbecue sauce on your face. This is a burger buffet worth traveling for. Would I come back? Absolutely. I'm already planning my next visit, and yes, it's for those Thai wings and that Wagyu dip burger. Slater's 50-50 isn't just one of the best ACE deals in Las Vegas. It's a full-on burger adventure you won't soon forget. We'll be back again soon. In fact, we've been back twice since filming. Maybe you'll see us there, and don't forget to tell them, Let's Eat Vegas sent you. This would be a good time to hit the notifications bell so you get a reminder when the next review becomes available. And of course, it's always a good time to like, subscribe, comment, or share. It's free to do so, and it helps us to grow and to bring you more reviews. Until we eat again, bon appetit!